Hello ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you this next episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. As promised, first things first, I'm going to redo the last launch that I did. Cause when you do that launch, that achy shaky launch, I get so launchinated with you. What does that even mean? Okay, let's turn on SAS and RCS. You might notice my scientist is actually in the ship, and now I can launch. You might also notice I lost my stability things here. It's because I wanted to add a couple extra parachutes in order to not break my science machine. Because it's important not to break your science machines. You might also notice that I redid the phasing so that these start firing at the same time that these decouple. That's just for a more efficient change in phases. I should get some extra height out of it if I'm not mistaken. But let us see. But you might also notice I don't sound like I'm sick anymore. That is because I'm, oh god, not sick anymore. So that wasn't as efficient as I had hoped because I had clicked off of somewhere and had to click back on again. That is alright though. So, I have all these records to set here, and I'm expecting to pretty much do all of them, which is a good thing most definitely. I can't help but notice that I have failed to do my science experiments, so I will, I guess, be doing them in space. And let's drop that extra weight as quickly as possible. And do a bit of a time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Where do I get to? 200. So I'm actually going to fast forward all the way to the apopsis here. I hope I'm saying that right. Apoapsis? Apoapsis? Apoapsis, I think? I keep saying apopsis. That seems wrong now that I've read it out properly. But when I reach just about the top of that at 200, I'm going to be doing all my science experiments and crew reports. Which is right about, yeah, take it to 200. I know how game developers like their round numbers. Come on, I'm gonna be slowing down pretty quick here. If I turn my thrust off, I actually get more fast forward options. But I don't want them because I'm currently at 200,000 meters. Or 200 kilometers, I guess, as it would be. That makes sense to me. 25 science, lovely. Mystery goo. The goo seems to have clumped together in a sphere. It also appears to have become brittle. Interesting indeed. Let's go ahead and also do a crew report up here. 5 science. I actually probably should have read that, but I didn't feel like it, so give me a break. There we go. So it'll slow me down as I get closer. Let's go 10 times time warp here. And then I'll enter the atmosphere. It'll give me these time warp options. And remember, I want to, oh god, I'm landing on a mountain range. This is actually a bad thing, because that means I don't exactly know when to open my parachutes. Because I might not cool down enough and I might be going too fast to actually open them by the time I reach the bottom. Okay, once this dies down, open them. Oh, phew. That is actually close. I would usually fast forward until I almost hit the ground, and now that I've said that, I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, so apparently that's 500 meters, so I'm going to land at about 1300 here, which is unusual, but it happens. These parachutes deploy 500 meters before the ground, which is why I know that. So as I get closer, when we were young, I'm going to slow that down. You can see I'm actually very close to the ground right now, and I'm at 1,500 meters still. There we go, and everything is still in good shape, which means that Bob Kerman can go ahead and do a quick EVA, and a quick EVA report. EVA Longoria report. Board again, retrieve the vessel, and get my science. Alright. Alright. 63 science total, 10 from observation, crew report, EVA while flying over Kerbin's highlands, material study in space while near Kerbal, mystery goo observation in space near Kerbal, recover a vessel after a suborbital flight. Perfect. And a lot of funds too. Only 5,800 from recovered parts though, which is not that good. Okay, so first of all, I need extra stuff. What I would really like is flight control, but only to get to there. For now, it may actually be better for me to go with rocketry, which would give me the ability to actually control my ship a bit better instantly instead of later. What's this? This gives us science, but this science upgrade only gives us a thermometer to actually do experiments with and some batteries. I don't think this gives you any experiments. Yeah, see, collect data is all you can really do with it. And then you get a comms terminal that folds out, which is actually pretty cool to see in space. But I think this whole set here is more important, so let's go with this. And then I have 18 science remaining, which I guess I could spend on stability, but in all honesty, you don't really get... Oh, you get the radial decoupler. Need it. Need it. Close. Close indeed. Oh, close indeed. I will upgrade thee. I realized that didn't really work for what I was doing, but okay, mission control. It's always good to have destinations, or objectives. This is an interesting one. It just, essentially you have to fly people into low orbit. If you can do it while doing other things, that is the best. Suborbital spaceflight, you don't actually need to orbit. You can actually just hook a bunch of cockpits together and put a bunch of parachutes on it and recover most of a spaceship while doing this. But I'm not sure if I could get enough fuel to get us into space in that case. I might be able to. It's an interesting question. I can definitely orbit Kerbal, which I should really do. Solid fuel booster on a escape trajectory out of Kerbal. So for this one you need to... escape trajectory? Does that mean you actually have to be escaping the orbit of Kerbal? Because that's a very hard one to do without an unmanned craft. It does give you a lot of money and a fair amount of science. Might have to do it at an unmanned craft though. Okay. Test stack decoupler landed at Kerbal. So if you want easy money and easy science, this is the type of thing you do. Because I will accept this contract right away. And I will also accept the orbit Kerbal contract. So, let's close this. Go and build a thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely trash... Well, actually, the main setup is still good. I'm going to completely trash everything below this decoupler, and this is going to be called the Test Bitch Mark 1. Biatch Mark 1. And the Test Biatch, its job is going to be to launch and let's add a phase and decouple. Alright, objective complete. Fuck yeah, okay. We can now recover the vessel and call it a day. Good times. Oh, I even gained 0.1 science. I should have tried to do some experiments and stuff. Might as well also recover this last part of the test biatch. Okay, now that the test biatch is done, I will create myself the Orbitron. This ship's only purpose is going to be to get into orbit over Kerbal. Now, I do not remember the most efficient way to get into orbit anymore, but I can still get into orbit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some fuel. And this is going to be the center pillar of our ship, and that's going to allow us to actually achieve the orbit and to get back from the orbit. And I'm going to make that 3 fuel tanks long. Perfect. It's going to be a bit of an expensive ship, I can tell you that much right away. And then I'm going to go ahead. Actually, it doesn't need to be an expensive ship. Interestingly enough, like how much? This costs 1,000 for the Reliant. This costs 1,000 just for like the entire solid fuel booster. I can recover that though, and I can recover the fuel tanks, but I'm going to be jettisoning them, and recovery doesn't work as well as it should, I think. So it might be more economical to actually use the Thumper here for my main propulsion. Interesting. Okay, either way, let's get up here and actually get a good view of what we're doing. I need radial decouplers, first of all, and I would like them in 6-way symmetry, I think. Seems about right. And from there, I'm going to put on 6 of these. Apparently 6-way symmetry is just like the ultimate way of getting off the ground. And then I will put some stack decouplers down, which will be perfect, and just 6 more of these. Seems like it might be a bit unstable. It probably will be a tiny bit unstable. I'm just going to be honest about that. I also want these engines firing off at the same time as these decouplers go off, and these decouplers to also fire here, and then this decoupler over here. So I'm going to be losing the central pillar. The ship is going to cost 26,000, so I'm going to hope that it makes me a lot of money. This is the Orbitron Mark 1. Let's save it and launch it. In all honesty, this is very different from the ship I expected to design, but I'm trying to conserve some money here and hope that it doesn't fall over. I realize I turn RCS on all the time even though I have no RCS fuel. That will be coming later. There we go. Got myself plenty of money and science. Orbit Kerbal, set distance record of 100 kilometers, set speed record of 2,500. I'll try, man. I will try. And you will fail. I probably won't fail. Shut up. Shut up, Emperor in my head. Okay, so first phase going pretty well. Acceleration is good, but it is a bit slow since I am so heavy at the moment. 6 of these huge solid fuel boosters are not a small investment. So let's go up to about where, well, until I run out of fuel, I guess. In all honesty, these are pretty much unsteerable, the solid fuel boosters, unless you have some sort of method of propulsion built in. Good things going on there. Lovely. I think I'm going to run out of fuel well past my record for running out of fuel before. Just going to check my apopsis and see where it's currently at. Apoapsis, I guess. Not quite as good as I would hope immediately, but I will get there. And 20,000. Whoa! The decoupling did not function properly, so I'm still stuck with all of these around me. Let's actually cut the thrust here a bit and see where my apoapsis is currently hanging out at. 100,000 kilometers, or 100,000. It's not bad, but with these all stuck around me, I'm not sure if I can actually make it. I was kind of expecting to gain some height. They're like inside each other, so they're just not decoupling. I'm going to try for the orbit anyways. I think I can make it. So let's turn the fuel up a bit. Try to heighten the apoapsis a tiny bit. And then I'll wait until I reach the pinnacle of it, which is going to be at 108,000 or 109,000. So let's I'm trying to not accelerate. Let's cut the thrust here and do a bit of a fast forward. Also zoom up on my current position, just so I make sure I don't overshoot. I will reach a fairly high speed when I reach the pinnacle of the apoapsis. Apoapsis. Indeed, that is correct. Actually, I might reach a really low speed at the pinnacle of the apoapsis. Okay, so right when I'm there, let's time warp it. 111,000. Okay, now I want to burn full prograde towards the horizon here. Oh, my prograde isn't quite towards the horizon, but I want to burn full prograde anyways, even though I am a tiny bit off center right now. Oh, have I already looped? Oh, I have indeed. Okay, well, let's move this way and go full thrust. That should be expanding my orbital circle here, my orbital wobble as it might be. And let's see if I can actually make it. I have a fuck ton of fuel, but the burner that I'm using to make this burn is not the greatest. let's go check my map again. In all honesty, I have no idea whether or not I'm going to make this. How fast am I falling? 400 meters a second. I think this orbit was a failure, and I think I have to revert to vehicle assembly and change it. So, I'm thinking what I should actually have done there is probably not gone with a six-way booster system, and instead gone with a four-way booster system that relied on liquid fuel. So let's set this to four-way. Okay, let's set it to four-way and still rely on solid fuel just to save the money. I know it's a crappy thing to do, but I want to do it. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. I have the swivel and the reliant, the thud, the hammer. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the first... Well, I am pretty sure, apparently. Are you not sure? Are you pretty sure? Make up your mind, Yessik. Shut up! You're not my mom. I am your mom! God damn it! Why is everyone my mom these days? It doesn't make any sense. So let's very quickly put these four ways in here. And then I can just, probably not just put them on the base there, but I can throw on a few stack decouplers and an extra stack decoupler right here, which I actually have to put in the proper phase. If you put one on the center phase after a second phase, it will just phase all incorrectly, so watch that, if that makes any sense to you anyways. And then we can put 5 thrusters on the very bottom, which is great because it will lend some extra weight. Another thing I could do is I could increase the cost of the ship even more, but I think this is, in all honesty, probably enough to get me to orbit. You could use the 4-way symmetry tool and put 2 more radial decouplers here and there, and make this bottom segment a beast, really. But this is going to be the Orbitron Mark II. I said Mark II, game. Yes, thank you. I said Mark II, me. I guess I shouldn't blame the game when I clearly made the mistake. Okay, fairly stable. Let's turn on RCS, let's turn on SAS, and let us go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to have ourselves a solid burn. Solid burn. Okay, so that clearly wasn't the ideal way to set up an orbit. I'm going to go with what I used to do before, which might not be ideal, but it always used to work for me, so I'm going to do it anyways. Let's let go of these, and I fire, of course, the next 4. And that will take me up to a point where I can fairly easily orbit, I'm pretty sure. Robit. See what the apopsis grows to in the meantime. Apoapsis. Apoapsis. Gotta remember that. I also have to remember what the opposite is, because I know I'll just piss people off if I pronounce it incorrectly all the time. I was fairly certain I'd already done that. Let us see what it has grown to. Not too much. Let's, in that case, launch this middle segment and full thrust. I should be able to at least gain some. Yeah. Let's see if I can get that up to 100,000. When I get to 70,000 meters, I like to start burning slightly 90 degrees to the horizon, as you can see over there. 70,000. So I'm like just leaving the atmosphere. That's kind of unfortunate. I might need the stronger phase. 76. Okay, seems like maybe a good time to actually aim towards the apoapsis to increase my orbit, if I'm going to make it on this try, which, to be honest, I'm probably not. Bring up the steering so I can actually steer while I do this. So you can steer while in this mode in order to do things more easily. So let's go ×4 here. Stick to the apoapsis, try to get it higher and higher and higher. Steering can be a bit wonky when you're when you're this high up, or when you're warping. Actually, they probably shouldn't even allow you to steer while warping, but that's alright. The orbit is indeed expanding, and I think I will actually make it into orbit. I should probably keep an eye on my fuel. Keeping one eye on my fuel, holding my pillow tight. Exolite, orbit might reach the I can't remember what the opposite end of the apoapsis is. So the fastest way to currently expand the orbit would actually be to burn full thrust at the apoapsis, I'm pretty certain. And with that said, it might be a good idea to now wait and do that. I also like to make sure I'm going to land in a good place when I... Oh my god, I'm running out of fuel so badly. Okay. So that did complete my objective, and I still have some fuel left. Clearly this ship was not ideal, but I did indeed reach my orbit and finish my contract, which means I can go back into this mode and do my science experiments. Observe the mystery goo. Clumped in a sphere also appears to be brittle. The exact same thing, huh? Well, you are a little dick. I'm a little dick, and I'm also evil. I'm also into cats. Also into cats. I'm going to redo that science experiment at the apoapsis here. So to decrease my orbit to an amount where I would actually... Whoa! I clicked off screen there. To decrease my orbit to an amount where I'd actually get back onto the planet, I need to go orbit all the way to the apoapsis. This is periapsis, huh? Okay. I have to go all the way back to the apoapsis and then burn retrograde until the periapsis runs into the planet. So pretty much wherever you're burning prograde, you'll increase the orbit on the other side of that. And wherever you're burning retrograde, you're decreasing the orbit on the other side of that. Interesting little piece of advice, if I do say so myself. Or at least that's something I needed to learn. Maybe you guys already knew how to navigate in space, but I didn't, and I still really don't. So let's observe the mystery goo again. There we go. Mystery goo, high space over Kerbal. It feels right at home here. Keep the data, please. Observe the material bay as well. Oh, that is so much science. I really do appreciate that. Keep the data, and then I just need myself a single crew report. Excellent. It's round, very round. I keep forgetting to actually read the data from the science bay. Okay, so I'm actually currently at the apoapsis, and I did complete my objective. Or am I still enough at the apoapsis? Yeah, so I can actually turn around here. And that is prograde there. Always have to watch out that prograde and retrograde symbols are very similar. There's the retrograde. So let's get back home. Let's see how much fuel I have left. I should be able to make it if... And yeah, I made it. So let's cut the thrust there really quick. Where am I landing? In the middle of... Might actually like to burn prograde and land in the ocean. Give myself a bit of a lighter landing target. Might be nice. And X to cut the fuel. Perfect. Let's do a bit of a fast forward. If you fast forward too much as you're approaching a planet, by the way, you will run directly into the planet at 1,000 miles an hour. It is programmed to slow you down automatically as you enter certain levels, but if you're going too fast, it won't have time to. So you gotta watch out for that. It is a mistake I make a lot. So I should be landing in the ocean there, right near this this Japan-looking continent right there. And oh man, that is kind of glorious, is it not? I should probably, you know, I may be able to actually land this entire thing, which would be interesting. So, am I still fast forwarding? Okay, stop fast forwarding. So I'm going to set up my phases a tiny bit differently. I have 4 parachutes and I have an engine. And this would be an interesting little demonstration of how you're actually supposed to land on moons and other things, even though I will just be landing in the water. Okay. So that is calming down. I am at 8,000 meters. I can do a very quick little I can't do a flip yet, but that's alright. I just don't have enough control for it, apparently. My material bay almost died, so I really don't want any damage done to it, which is why I think it might be nice to actually... Oh, 0 is first, okay. To actually deploy the parachutes here, and that will flip me around. Doesn't do any damage to this. Also, I have done a lot of damage to one of my parts there. Actually, it's only about a third or a quarter of the bar. So I'm doing this in real time for a reason, because I want to be able to see as I start landing. It is like dawn right now, which is good. I get good light for this. I realize this isn't much fuel left. I'm going to keep my fuel open for that sake, just to see exactly what's going on. And once I get to 500 meters, it should deploy the parachutes properly. Let's check that out. And let's see what I slow down to. There we go. I slow down to 5.5 meters a second. I want to hit the ground at a lower speed than even that. So let's fast forward a tiny bit here, just until I'm at about 100 meters. Okay, 200, 200, 125. Sometimes I have a hard time seeing where the surface is actually supposed to be. Well, that's why I ended it a tiny bit early. So right now I'm going 5.4, 5.3. I would like to go a bit faster so I can actually recover all these extra parts and get all the extra money for that recovery. So I'm at 20 meters now. 10. Oh, okay. So you see, I was gonna start burning there before I hit the water, but because I couldn't really see where the water was, I ended up not doing it. It was exactly at 0. Should have known, since 0 is sea level. But anyways, I made it. Let's do a quick EVA report. Bob, you're out. Whoa, you're also underwater. Quick, do the EVA report before you drown. Oh, can I, crew hatch, where are you? There you are. EVA report, man. Awesome, get back in. By the way, you can do EVAs in space, but you have to upgrade your crew quarters first. So let's recover this vessel and see all the science and money I got. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about ship in the sky, you know how I feel. Leaves drifting on by, you know how I feel. Freedom, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me. And I am feeling quite good about it. Excellent. I'm actually going to start a program right now that's going to cost me some reputation in the administration building here, and funding campaign is going to cost me 25% of my reputation gain. I can't actually bring it any higher until I upgrade this building, and all of that will become money, which I quite need at the moment. Setup cost is only 21 reputation, is not that much considering what I currently have. So let's close that and see what I can get in the science center. I might want the avionics package because there's some research you can do into that. Aerodynamics. Does that give us like that cockpit? That is, no, that gives us the cockpit. 65 science to spend. Well, I think I don't need this. I think I don't quite need that yet. And I think I could quite use structural components. Although maybe I'm wrong. I can't quite afford this at all. Not to mention, in order for those to work, I need both these fuel systems here and here. And that's a lot of science, and I'm kind of running out of science at the moment. I'm assuming you get more science later through something? I don't know. Do I want flight control? For advanced flight control later? I'm pretty good at making stable ships, but struts are super useful. Yeah, it's good stuff. It is good stuff. I think I actually do want the stability here. And that allows me to get, ooh, a very nice decoupler for 90 science later. One that actually has a decent amount of ejection force and some distance from the actual cockpit, which is very nice. So, gonna do a mission next. I think, though, this is where I'm gonna call the episode. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Especially comment. I enjoy hearing from you guys. Later.